Alright, welcome back. On this video, I'm going to show you how a new way I discovered to make smoke. So let's say the battle's happening here between a Stug and a Sherman just lost. And you're going to put your plume of smoke on there. I discovered a way to have it look like this. Instead of just a black piece of smoke, or when you paint and put on there. It kind of flashes and kind of looks a little bit like fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do it in real time here and show you how I made it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down here and zoom out a little mat here. The items you're going to need is, I got these from like Dollar Trade or $1 for 2 of them. That's really cheap. It's those little electronic candles, and this one goes 240 total hours, so that's 120 hours here, 120 hours here. So if you think about your game, it may be on there for 3 hours, and so think about how many games that will last. And if you need to, you can get a new battery or just buy some new one of these. Another thing you're going to need is some electric tape, scissors, needle nose pliers or other pliers will work, and a plume of smoke. Now these are my old plume of smokes, which I'm going to change over to this new way of doing it. And all I did was, this is polyfill that I just primed the outside of. So you kind of see a little bit of the white still in there. And at the bottom I added a nut and used black electric tape because I couldn't get the nut to stick, because the tanks are magnetized, so that would stick very easily to the magnet. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to change this into that fire. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to open up this package. Oh my gosh, it's meat proof. There we go. And the way I found to do this is just push, and just pops it right off. This part here, don't need that little switch. What you want to keep is this part here, this little black part, and the light bulb. Those are the parts you want. And then the battery back here. So you want to pop that out. The battery should pop out. There it is. So the battery's out. This backing, don't need. Here we need the black part, and the light bulb comes out like that. This part don't need. So this is all you're going to need, and that's the little safety thing for the battery not to work. So this is all you need from it to make your little fire. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend, I'm going to bend this straight piece here, because that's going to curl around the bottom of this a little bit to give it a little better hold. I tried soldering, and the solder just wouldn't hold onto the battery in this. So and actually I found out this might be better, because you can always change your battery out, you can always change your light bulb to a different battery, so it's not anything you're going to have to worry about. So what I did was I just made, like, it looks like little walking legs. So I made a little foot. Then what I'm going to do is take a little bit of my electric tape. Doesn't have to be a very big piece. And this is where I'm going to use my scissors to cut my electric tape. So I get a piece about like this. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put that there so I can grab it in a minute. What I'm going to do is, how the light works is, it needs to touch the side of the battery and the top of the battery. And the top is, it has this, on this one it has this pattern. The bottom of the battery is with all the writing. So the top has this. So to get this to work, it's touching the side, touching the top, and these have their own little flicker. This one's not flickering like the other one. There it goes. So they have this little flicker that's automatic with these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this side part first. So I'm just going to take this, make sure I got it up against the side here. So I'm going to take it, put it there, push it up there against there, good. Kind of bring this around and onto the bottom. And one way to see if I have it is, if I touch, see, if I push that down, it lights right up. That's what I want. I don't want it to be on 24/7. I want it on when I want it on. All right, now the next step is we're going to use this piece. So I'm going to turn this off. Whoops. It just wants to stay on. Well, you're going to stay on. I'm going to move it over here. So this piece here, what I really want is the flat back. I want the flat back. That's what's going to push that wire down. So again, I'm going to take some electric tape. I feel like I should have duct tape on this. We're going to use electric tape for this. I guess you could use duct tape. I mean, it wouldn't hurt anything. So I'm going to kind of put it in the center of this. And what I'm going to do is, or I'm a little bit off, but that's a good thing because I want to curl one end up and put the tape back to back. This way I have a piece that I can grab to pull off and on as I need. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this, and I want this tab, that flat piece of plastic, to push down onto it. So I'm going to put it where it's pushing right onto that wire. Wrap this one around. That piece that has the tab, I'm going to wrap that one around. I'm going to check to see, is it lighting? If it's not, I'm going to move it so it gets a good light. There we go. So now it's doing its light, it's flickering. Now I can move it around a little bit. Sometimes this back piece gets a little bit loose. Voila. Now the last thing is the smoke. So I'm going to rip off that tape. Again, my electric tape just comes in handy on this one. So this is my smoke. It's just polyfill that's been primed on the outside. You don't want to overdo it because you still want a little bit of that white to show through. This way it's just not all black. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually excavate a hole into this polyfill. So I'm kind of twisting it, trying to get, there my thumb worked right into it. Because I want it kind of thin so the light comes through, but also I want a little bit of a channel up here so the light goes not just right in the spot, but it's going to go a little bit further around in this polyfill. So as you see, my thumb is almost up to the knuckle as far as how far I'm going up. And to thin it, I could just pull it. So I'm kind of pulling here and there. So I'm just stretching this bottom part out. The top part I might want to keep black, you know. So there we go. Then I can test it and say, well, how does that look? Well, I don't like it. It looks like a cone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on it a little bit. So maybe I squeeze these in a little bit more. Okay, the bottom part. Now let's look. Not quite happy with that. What I'm going to do is move this away where you actually see it more from the side, like you would be playing like here. And I'm not quite happy with that still, so I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna stretch a little bit because I'm getting closer to the shape I want. I don't want that cone shape though, but this is still too thick, so I'm just kind of working it around, making it thin. So this is like, see how thin that is getting. You get holes in it, you know, polyfill, fix it, boom, done. Now, I'm actually going to use my pinky and work it around my pinky here. Because again, I'm trying not to get that cone look. There we go, that looks a little closer. Now let's see what that looks like. If I can get it set straight. There we go. So I'm much more happy with that. Has a little fire going, a little glow up here, so it's just not that part. Turn it there. So what I'm having a problem here with it balancing a little bit, so maybe I'll do like that to kind of flatten it out a little bit. Push it in. Oh, look at that, sets on there great. So what happened now in this battle, so I'm going to go back up here. Let's go back to this battle. These other Shermans says, you ain't doing that to my buddy. You are doing. So here's this Sherman, they shoot. They score a hit. It fails its armor save. they roll their firepower. Were they successful or not? I say they were. And now that one's in flames. So now I can back this up and you can see both of them in flames now. And so that's my idea I have now for smoke. Now, when I'm done with it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one off Sherman and put this down here, and I'll show you what you can do when you're done. You know, done playing the game, you don't want the battery to run out. So you have that little tab, so you can quickly just pull that like this. And what I've been doing is I stick the electric tape under that wire, like that. Now the wire's sticking out there, but it's not going to contact the battery and turn on. Then when I want to use it, I just go like that, slip it out, boom. That tab, that flat tab is going to push this down. You can see it's already lit up. Wrap it around. And if the tape gets, you know, where it doesn't stick anymore, just put more electric tape on. Take the old tape off, put a new one on. Because it's really just attached to the battery right here in that plastic tab. It's not even sticking to this battery. Now, this one is, but for the back part, but you normally don't take that off. You're just taking off, and again, that's why you do that piece right there, so you can quickly just grab it. Boom, I'm done. I'm going to slide it underneath here. I can store it like this, and it's not going to turn on until I'm ready. So, going back out here. Oh, that's a lovely sight. A stug is burning. Yay, Shermans. So again, this is my idea of adding a little bit more effect to your game with smoke. So, until next time, have a good game.